you've got the app. A lot of these also have CAPTCHA bypass, which is nice because then you can outsource your CAPTCHA breaking to, say, India for a couple pennies. And they all have links now into these interfaces to do that type of CAPTCHA breaking. So here's one, Facebook Blaster Pro. It's about $40 if you want to buy it. And it'll do all kinds of automated things for you. It'll gather IDs, and then it'll start sending things to your friends or other people and start building that trust that we talked about. So now, Robin is going to talk about the new version of Creos.
Woohoo! Okay, so just for those who don't know what Creos is, Creos is command and control system, so basically a botnet controller, and it's designed to run over social media. Obviously, the original botnets generally ran over things like IRC, but hopefully most corporations now are blocking IRC on their networks, but very few are blocking web access. So, yeah, let's run it over the web. Supposedly blocking IRC access. Yeah. So, what is it? I've deliberately written it as a proof of concept. It's written in Ruby. It is not stealthy. It's not particularly optimized. However, it could quite easily be weaponized if somebody wanted to. Wow.
Well, it actually was weaponized right around our DEF CON talk, if you remember.
Yeah. Somebody did, I don't know whether they based it on my ideas or not, but there were base64 encoded tweets going out for a while. And yeah, I got a lot of hits that day on my site. So yeah, so it's written in Ruby, so it's cross-platform, and it's not optimized. It's currently designed to run over Twitter, JPEG, TinyURL. So for Twitter, it's got a controlling account. The controller posts tweets out, all the bots look at the tweets and act accordingly. So you can do things like ask it to ping, ask it to execute commands, and ask it to grab files. So the basic way to put those together is the bot, you ask the bot to ping just to make sure it can get an outbound connection. It then downloads your backdoor and executes it. That's it, game over. Through JPEG, the reason I wrote this one is a while ago, somebody did a command and control thing over JPEG. It hit the news. But the way they did it, they basically had a JPEG header and then the command. It wasn't a valid JPEG. It just looked like one when it's passing through some of the filters. I figured, if you're going to do it, you may as well do it properly. And
thank you, Robin.
Seeing as JPEGs let you do metadata, all I've done is taken a nice, innocent-looking JPEG and inserted the commands into its metadata fields. So you can post the image to any website you want. You can put it on TwitPic, anything like that. The bots look for it, download it, pull the command out, execute it. Finally, TinyURL. It's quite a tricky way of doing it, this, but TinyURL allows you to specify what aliases you want for the URL you're shortening. So what I did is came up with a way of basically generating predictable aliases. So it takes current time and date and various other things, hashes them together. The controller does that, and the link that it posts up based on that alias is the command. The bots then check TinyURL for these pre-calculated hashes or aliases. If they exist, looks at the URL, and that's the command it's going to execute. So it's quite obscured. It's quite an interesting way of doing it. Obviously, if you hit the URL, it's up to you whether you make it valid or not, but the command will be hidden in there. So that's what it currently do, or that's what it did do. I've now added LinkedIn support. So the LinkedIn API, at the moment, it allows you to read any data out of the profile, but it will only allow you to write to the status field. So all I've done is started hiding the commands in the status field.
Santa's evil.
Yes.
Santa is evil.
Go, Chris. So yeah, so as you can see there, command ping that IP address. And then if you want it a little bit more obscured, one of the other things Creos allows you to do is specify what language you're posting the commands in. So this is a kind of English language. So rather than just ping this, it's do stuff on that IP address. And I've written it in a modular way so you can write whatever languages you want. The number on the end of that, the hashtag, is just a hangover from the Twitter side. That is actually a checksum. So it stops people posting fake commands for you. The bot will check, is it a valid command, and does the checksum match what it's expecting? For LinkedIn, you could obviously modify that and do it in a better way so it doesn't look quite as obvious. Also now, I've got it working in Windows. Before, it was a bit flaky, it might work, it might not, but now I've gone through, give it a good test in Windows. Works on just the standard gems. The Ruby that you get off ruby.com, the Ruby installer, has, I think it's got all the gems installed that you need. So it should just be a case of download, point and click and go. What's next with it? Obviously everything I've done so far has been over HTML in some way, JPEGs and web things. I would like to move on to other types of channel. So if anybody can suggest anything that's not HTML based, but is social media or is the kind of thing that organizations will let through the firewall, let me know.
Flash.
Flash?
Flash would be good.
Yeah, Flash could be good. Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that's not web-based. So maybe email, snail mail.
Open this letter from Robin.
Read the letter to your computer.
Oh, if you get the microphone to turn on, you read this into your microphone. Own yourself. So if anybody's got any suggestions or any other channels, please get in touch. And now, hopefully, we should have a demo. This is using the LinkedIn stuff that I've added. Does it play?
Yep.
Yes. Yep. So, it says, now with LinkedIn and tested on the Windows. So we start off with just a basic status. So it looks nice and innocent. We've got Linux on the top, Windows on the bottom. We're starting up both the bots. And you specify what command channel you're using. So there we're specifying that we're going to use LinkedIn. It starts up. At the moment, I've just got it listening every about 5 seconds, I think, looking for commands. There, the commander just sent a ping command. And that's what it looks like in LinkedIn. As you can see, Linux has got it. And so is Windows 1, there you go. So both machines there have had the commands. Now let's say change the language. So now we're sending the command more of an English style. There we go, there's the new command to change the language. And now it's sleeping and waiting for the commands to come through again. And so what that does is it goes away, it downloads the new language file off the web. Creos is dynamic. You can specify to download different files. And then it updates itself automatically. So it's not just a fixed application. Now we send out again, do another ping. This goes out in more of the English style. There we go. Windows has had it. Linux is just waiting for it. Linux has had it as well. So if we just scroll up on that one, you should see. There we go. There's the command that it received, and it calculated the checksum as well. And there should be the same thing on the Windows box. So that's it. It received the command, checked the checksum, and executed it. So if you want any more information, the download, I put it up this morning, so it's free to download.
Very nice.
Very good cover.
And now pass you over to Kevin.
How many people accepted a friend request from me today? Please.
How many accepted one from one of his bots?
And how would you know?
Or my bots. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's too many. Too many bots. Oh.
Third-party APIs.
Kevin's favorite topic.
Yeah. The minute a social network site announces that they're going to allow developers to build applications for their users, I giggle. You know, the easiest idea you could have is just put a mic in my office, and when I giggle, worry. So all of these sites, they start